Mahia, we've been surprised here, and a couple of fans who are watching this match here in Rabat. We have actually been surprised that a big number of Moroccans were actually supporting Nigeria of Algeria in this match. Yet Algeria, just the neighbors here, you know, in the north. And one supporter was telling us, look, we want we want Algeria to go home because you know, we've been rivals for a long time and we do not want to meet them here. And that just goes to indicate, you know, also historical and, you know, so to speak, bilateral and diplomatic fallout that Morocco and Algeria have recently had. And that probably could have a bearing on why a lot of Moroccans were supporting Algeria over that match. But also importantly, Nigeria coming alive in this, you know, match, 0-0 between those sides in the first half, played in Marrakesh. Victor Osimhen and Adams making the difference in that match. Very strong Nigerian side turned up in the second half to win this one emphatically and sending the Super Eagles into the last four of this competition. It was very important that Nigeria made a strong statement after what we have seen about the team recently.
Right, Saddique, you mentioned Victor Osimhen there, and ahead of the match, the talk was all about the striker and his threat to walk out and reports of non-paid allowances in the Nigeria camp. What kind of picture do these reports then paint about the Super Eagles and the tournament as a whole?
Maya, we've also learned in the past few hours that it took very high intervention from officials of Nigerian government to change the mind of the players, some of whom had threatened publicly, you know, not to honor the fixtures, not to travel to Marrakesh for this tie. Captain Dindi was, you know, has been all over, you know, in the media and in the press conference, asking the players to turn up, you know, for that shirt, for the Nigerian outfit. And it appears, you know, that the team actually listened to both that call from the Nigerian Football Federation and the Nigerian government officials, some of whom were told flew into Morocco to try and pacify the players and the team to actually focus on this important tie. So it appears that the players took, you know, that rallying call and turned that anger which they had against the NFF earlier on for non-payment of the allowances from the group stage all the way here into a formidable results that we have seen this one. Unfortunately, Maya, this is not the first time we are seeing this out of the, you know, the Super Eagles. We've seen this on a couple of editions of the Africa Cup of Nations. We have also seen this trend with their women's team. So unfortunate that Nigeria has to make a different kind of headlines, you know, before that match. And possibly now many people will say they'll put all that problems aside and focus on the match that is ahead of them on Wednesday next week.
Right, the quarter-final action is not over yet. Another big tie kicks off in the next hour. That's the holders Cote d'Ivoire taking on record winners Egypt. Where do you see this game being won or lost?
Maya, this game has already been won by fans on social media, if you will. They are calling out the similarities, you know, between these two sides. The coaches of both sides were players in their own, during their heydays. And now Egypt stands very close, so to speak, you know, just one step away from getting into the semi-finals. And the Egyptians believe that if Egypt gets into the semi-final, then they will, their 8th title will well be within sight. But here you have a Cote d'Ivoire team that, again, underdogs, so to speak, coming into this tournament, defending champions, no less, hosted this tournament at home and the previous edition and coming very strongly into this competition. So this one will also determine whether we're going to have a new winner this year of the Africa Cup of Nations or not. Because if Cote d'Ivoire are knocked out, certainly we're going to have a new winner of the Africa Cup of Nations. But we've heard from Cote d'Ivoire in their last press conferences, they're saying they're up to this task. They know that the Egyptians are very, very renowned in terms of AFCON. They know all the corners. They have lifted this trophy more than anyone else. But recently we also know that Cote d'Ivoire made history by being in that elite list of African teams that hosted and won this tournament at home. So these two teams, on paper, they are very strong, each side parading their best. Mo Salah again leading Egypt into this game. But we also understand that Cote d'Ivoire have said that they are not going to let this one slide. It's them for the taking, and they are saying this title has to go back home to Abidjan. So Maya, at this point, it's too early to call. I will tell you this, the best team will win this one and head into the finals next week.
All right, celebrations in Cairo or celebrations in Abidjan, we will see by the end of this night. Saddique Shaban, thank you very much for your insights there. He was joining us live there from Rabat. Right, it's time for us to take a short break. Here's what's coming up on the program.